the most significant thing that we want to say is that there is this very common belief, and then follow through with experience, that goes like this. There are these conditions that I accept that I cannot change, but I also cannot accept them as they are. So I'm sort of stuck because I can't change them and I can't accept them. And so am I just doomed to feeling bad if I give my attention to them? And we say pretty much. Pretty much. Because if you can't change it and you believe you've got to change it in order to feel better, then there's no place for you to go. And it's what we are calling, maybe others are too, it would be a perfect title for it, it's very conditional living. If I see this condition that I approve of, and in my attention to it I feel good, but then I see this condition that I don't approve of, I don't like it, and when I look at it I feel bad, then we can see how you would logically think, well, if I could make that condition more like that condition, if I could control the conditions, then I will feel better. And that's really what's going wrong in your political arena, or in many of the conflicts around the world, is that people have this flawed premise that not only they have to change the conditions in order to feel good, but that they cannot. And so they amass bigger and bigger crowds of people around them, bigger and bigger resources. They drop bigger and bigger bombs, so to speak, to try to control. But what law of attraction says is whatever you give your attention to is becoming more. So that's why we give the analogy of putting the engine on your train of your desire, and then the engine of your train of what you're observing. So I want this, but I've got this, but I would prefer this, but I can't have it. I've got this, but I really want this. And so you put yourself in that place of tension, and that is the problem. It's the you not going with your own flow that is the problem, but you blame it on the condition that you can't change. Well, it isn't the condition that you can't change that's the reason for your contradiction of energy. It's your putting the engines on the other end of it that's the reason for your. So we want to say to someone who's got a really bad relation with someone and they want to blame it on her or him, it isn't that person that is the problem. It's your attention to that person. Better said, it's your lack of attention to what you want. It's your attention to what you don't want that is splitting your own energy. So once you get the hang of this a little bit, you could say to the people that are giving you the most pause or the most discomfort, you could say to them, you don't have to change anything for me, because I can give my attention to a lot of other things that feel better. Now, it's more difficult if it's someone you're living with. It's more difficult if it's someone really up close to you. And often, if you're focused upon what you want, even though you've got that, and you're focused on what you want, even though you've got that, you're really focused upon what you want, even though you've got that. The fact that you've got that is really what's causing you to launch so many rockets of what you want. I'd like more freedom. I'd like more ease. I'd like less negative attention on me. I'd like more positive attention. I'd like to feel better. In other words, this is causing your vortex to grow. So you're giving more attention to what you do want. And then you're doing a good job of thinking so much about what you do want and thinking less and less about what you don't want, that you are predominantly a vibrational match to your own vortex. What happens is law of attraction in its harmony causes you to go one way and somebody else to go another way. Sometimes you think that harmony is, I got to round up all the renegades. I got to get everybody that doesn't agree with me. This is what is wrong with politics. Got to get everybody who doesn't agree with me to agree with me. Well, you don't need anybody to agree with you to get what you want. You just have to agree with you. You just have to agree with you. So it's your attention to those who don't agree that is causing you to not agree with you, because your attention isn't upon what you agree to. Your attention is upon what they're not agreeing to, or what you're not agreeing to. You see how it works? Yeah. We think instead of Facebook, you should call it Nosebook. So that's the basis of it, and that's the whole of it. That's the law of it. But it takes some practice, doesn't it?
A lot of practice.
Because most of you have been trained, especially by your mothers, to care about what they think. And they have spent almost all of their life, almost everybody you know, is trying to get you to agree with them, because most people are living conditional lives. And so they feel better when you agree with them. And if you make the mistake of expressing some disagreement, they'll work hard to make you understand what's wrong with your reasoning, because they need you to agree. It's such a hard life when you need someone to agree with you who's not likely to agree with you. You're looking for love in all the wrong places. You're looking for agreement in all the wrong places. Look for it within you, you see. So you want to talk some specifics? You want to talk about your relationship with your mother?
Right, yeah, of course.
And we'll just softly guide you as to some things that you could do right away that would make you feel better. It won't change your mother.
Oh, it won't, no.
No, it's not going to change your mother. So if you need her to change,
I got that.
you just got to give that up.
Yeah.
She's not going to change. In fact, it's one of the nicest things that she's ever done for you. Because
no.
by her not conforming to what you need her to be, she's causing you to look in the only place it ever was anyway. If she would just stand on her head to please you, not only would she be your puppet, but then you'd need everyone else to behave the same way. And they're not gonna. Ask the Democrats or the Republicans. They're not having any of the other. Even though there might be something reasonable over there. No point in looking, though.
No.
Don't want to find it. Want to talk about something?
I would love to talk about something.
Yeah.
Yeah, holidays. Took on call for Christmas, made plans for Thanksgiving away from her. It feels like hell.
If you make plans away from her, she gives you a lot of grief?
I feel a lot of grief.
You feel like you should be there?
Should.
You feel like you should be there, but you don't want to be there?
Exactly.
So if you wait until the holidays upon you before you go or don't go, so you're telling us that if you go, it's miserable, and if you don't go, it's miserable. Yeah. So you can't win either way. So step back from the immediacy of it just a little bit and think about what a holiday means to you. Now, first of all, we want to just ask you this question. Do you have to have all of your holidays on the holidays? Is a celebration, does it have to fall on an agreed holiday? Is today a holiday?
Yeah.
Really? What is the holiday of this day? Is today Thanksgiving? Is today Christmas? New Year's? Is it your birthday? So there's no special holiday. There's no consensus of a holiday worldwide or citywide. So what we're getting at is any moment in time that you aren't pulling against yourself, you're going to feel elation, you're going to feel satisfaction, you're going to be full of yourself, your timing's going to be good, you're going to feel playful. In other words, that holiday feeling is something that you can accomplish anytime. But when you assign it to a specific day, which means everybody that's come into the holiday party better be in a holiday mood, well, then you're usually asking for some troubles. But let's say that you've decided, you see these holidays coming, specifically Thanksgiving and Christmas, did you say? Do you remember those holidays as being wonderful?
Never, no.
And was it because a lot of people came together with different intentions and tried to conform and nobody did?
Oh, hell yeah.
So today isn't a holiday, not one that's on the calendar anywhere, but here's a culmination of people, physical and non-physical beings have gathered here with similar intentions of feeling good, of raising vibration, of feeling uplifted. And as Esther was sitting waiting for the music to come on, she was feeling you and thinking about what this day was going to be like and what you would all bring to it. And she was feeling an appreciation. In fact, she was writing it as she was hearing you and feeling you. She was acknowledging that you've come with questions, and she wrote the word thankful for what they're bringing to this expansion. This is a real celebration for Esther and for all of you. And so what it is a law of attraction gathering. It's not an assigned gathering. It's not of, I should go over there because of this, or I need to go over there so that I don't hurt someone's feelings. It is a being here because I want to be here. It's a going with the flow sort of thing. Where with so many holidays, you go out of obligation rather than out of desire. You go out of responsibility. Now, not always. A lot of people are having wonderful holidays. But if it doesn't feel wonderful to you, then we would suggest one of two things. Either don't go. Oh, wait, you're in trouble either way, because if you don't go, you feel bad too. So here's really what we're getting at. If you wait until you're right upon it and you think, I want it to be good, but it probably won't be, and I should go, but I don't really want to, so you're splitting your energy all over the place, and then the day just arrives and then you just blunder into it, well, it's going to be just as miserable as you've anticipated it being, because that's just how everything works. But let's say that today, far in advance, you're saying, I want to feel good on the holidays, whether I am with mother or not. I want to feel good. And what does feeling good feel like? It feels like being tuned in, tapped in, turned on. It feels like being in a mode of appreciation. It feels like being in a state of appreciation. Let's just take Thanksgiving. Now, did you hear the story that we offered earlier about Esther with her wall? Her wall. It's a wall. That whole thing was about a wall. Not her mother, a wall. So do you think it's possible for you to step back and look at the culmination that is you, the culmination that is your life, and then just for a little bit think of everything that came before? Think of your mother and her life that she lived, and her coming together with her mate, thinking about the culmination that became you and the nurturing of you as she was fostering you new into the world. Can you find any appreciation for that? Can you feel the many thoughts, the many thousands of thoughts that she's generated about you in your direction? And can you step back just a little bit and acknowledge how much attention that she was giving to you, how important, even from that infancy, that you were to her, how you were an object of attention that she enjoyed giving her attention to? Can you find a vibrational place that soothes you? Can you think about all of those meals that she gathered and cooked, all of those times that she wanted to provide something nice for the family, all of that well-intention that she set forth? Can you find some feeling of that? So as you focus upon that, now we're reaching into energy rather than into what is right now, but as you find that, it is our promise to you that you will find resonance with your own inner being, with that high-flying energy of your own inner being. And in doing so, as you think like that today and tomorrow and for a little while, what will happen is those thoughts will turn to more things. Your appreciation will grow if you don't contradict that newfound appreciation in the moments that you're finding it. If you don't say, yeah, but, yeah, she cooked the meal, but they weren't that good, or whatever. So your job, if you want to feel good about Thanksgiving, is to find some vibrational essence of it that you can ride the momentum of. And what will happen is that Thanksgiving day might not ever even come. We're not guiding you toward a manifestation that is changed or different. We're guiding you to a more joyful journey on a thought trail that you apparently can't get off of. If this day is coming and you got to do one thing or another, you've got to find some way to make it feel good for you. And we don't know of any way to make anything feel better for you than to find some little piece of appreciation, even if you have to kind of go far back into the generality of it in order to find it. And then what happens is an idea comes and another idea comes and another idea comes, and it is our promise to you, will find yourself rendezvousing with aspects of your mother that you haven't touched up against in a very long time, because they have not been active in you. You've been facing reality like almost everybody else and not liking the reality that you've been facing. And so you've gathered momentum about a reality that you don't want to face. In fact, two realities about the same thing. Go, oh, that's awful. Don't go, oh, that's awful. So you've got yourself in a place where you cannot win on a subject that you can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop thinking about it. There's turkeys everywhere. You can't stop thinking about it. There's something that's going to remind you of these holidays everywhere you go, because your whole world thinks that you need that day to make yourself happy. Well, you don't need that day to make yourself happy, but if that day you've believed you need it to make you happy and it hasn't made you happy, it's time for you to discover it's not about the day, and it's not about the meal, and it's not about the turkey, and it's not about the ham, and it's not about whoever even shows up. It's about how you've decided to line up your energy about it, you see. That's all that it's ever been about. So you want to get to the place where you could go or not go and feel good in either case. But we've been saying for years, make a decision and line up with the decision. Make a decision and line up with it. So right now you could decide, I'm going or I'm not going. Which is it? Flip a coin.
I'm not going.
Flip a coin. I'm not going.
That's not.